I am Alison Spurway, and in 2020, right in the middle of COVID, I was invited to become the chair of the board of trustees at the Children's Wood.
My name is Andrea and I have been involved in the Children's Wood before it was the charity even for the past 12 years.
The Children's Wood is the name of the charity and the clue is in the name. We want children to come out of doors. We want them to come and play in what for them is a wild space. You know, I was spotted in 2020 because my grandson, who was 4 years old at the time, was playing on the land. Now, for that wee boy, this land went on forever. And he was able to run and to climb, and he was able to get into the tree house, and it was magical for him. And that's what we want for the local children.
We wanted to encourage going outside and enjoying the outdoors, and for those people particularly who don't have a garden, for example, and schools who have just a concrete playground, we wanted them to find a place where they can be and can come to, and we wanted to knock down the barriers of, oh, I don't know how we can get out, support them in having this can-do attitude.
We wanted people to feel that they could garden here, so there were allotments and the beginning of a community garden, which is now 10 years later flourishing.
We want to get the balance right between wildlife and this green space and biodiversity, and focus very much on sustainability as alongside looking after people and wanting to get people to enjoy the space and to look after it with us.
We now employ an education coordinator, and she runs outdoor sessions for nursery children, from primary school children, and then of course obviously people come in with their children, and we've got 2 absolutely excellent toddlers groups. So parents get the companionship, children get this lovely experience of being together around a fire and cooking their lunch and such like. In addition to that, almost every month we run community events. They come in and they just have a very nice, happy afternoon where their children can listen to a story perhaps, or they could have their faces painted, or they could have a competition about their costume for Halloween, and lots of lovely ideas. So it's a great success. And we had a birthday party in June when we celebrated 10 years of the Children's Wood. It was playing fields for a local secondary school. That school closed, and therefore the playing fields were no longer used or maintained. It became derelict land, and it became really unpleasant. People walked dogs and they didn't pick up the mess, they dumped their sofas, there were unpleasant people using the old shed. The place was a mess, frankly. And then the City Council got a really good offer from some developers to turn it into flats. This is a very densely populated part of the city. The idea of more population coming in and into flats was a concern, and it was the local community who set up a campaign to oppose this decision.
We believed in it being much more valuable to people than high-end housing. We thought that the drive has to be more than just, oh, we want a little bit of a green space. The campaign had to be based on a bit more weight, like education and good mental health and physical health, finding a nice place for people to come to and connect and make communities and make friendships. All sorts of people doing all sorts of different types of things, like gardening, which is really good for mental health. We encouraged a bunch of young mums or dads to be trained up and to then run some sessions here for the rest of the community. And this is how our toddler group started. So we had to kind of stretch out and make it a bit more than just a nice green space for people to hang out in. Winning over the council trying to sell it by demonstrating. People gathered, got on the bus, we drove to George Square, chanting and placards, and kids dressed up. We had a daily little sit-in in George Square with little placards. So it was a huge campaign and a huge commitment for so many people to join in and believe in us being able to hold on to the space.
They took it right up to the court, and they eventually, through the Community Empowerment Act, they were able to get a lease from Glasgow City Council.
Nobody believed we would ever be successful because the council had to get money and they are pretty skint, that people could sort of pull together and challenge the council. That was a massive dream and it came true, and we're very proud.
We're aware that if we as a charity put a lot of money into development, then if it belongs to the City Council, frankly, they could take it back at any time. So therefore, we would really like the security of owning the land, and that's our objective for the future.
The dream, it was a massive dream to make this survive, so we've kind of gone through one dream and it's brilliant. I think the dream is remaining what it is, being there for the people and making this space what it has been, a positive green space for everyone to enjoy.
That it does what it does better, but doesn't expand. We don't want to become an organisation that's constantly searching for money down rabbit holes. We want to strengthen what we do, improve the land maintenance, which is really quite a struggle, and create a very happy community hub as a model for other communities in Glasgow to see what can be achieved.